was high drama in the Molenbeek neighborhood of Brussels, made infamous by its terror connection to Paris and Brussels attacks. A bystander was injured by a car which accelerated away from police lines during tense scenes in the area on Saturday. Over 400 anti-immigration activists were staging a demonstration in the Brussels suburb when they were confronted by activists who made up a large part of the population in the area. During this tense standoff, a white Audi ran through a police roadblock, ignoring pointed guns and batons, and then running a woman over. In fact, the person in the front seat was seen filming the entire proceedings. As the car sped away, gunshots could be heard, followed by screams by bystanders as the car hit a woman in a hijab. The victim was taken to a hospital immediately. The driver, in fact, who was, the Belgian media says, is a resident of Molenbeek, has since been arrested. Senior editor Gaurav Sawant is now joining us with more details. Gaurav, take us through this entire incident. What was this show all about, because of which we saw the activists there standing near Molenbeek and this Audi car just smashing through people there?
Molenbeek, as you know, is predominantly a Muslim-dominated neighborhood, and there were protests and counter-protests in Molenbeek. One by the ultra-right wing people who were protesting why is it that terrorists were hiding in this area, whether it was the November 2015 Paris terror attacks or the March 22 Belgium terror attacks. In both cases, terrorists came from this neighborhood. This is what the Belgian ultra-right was protesting. There were about 450 to 500 protesters. There were also counter-protests to show that you cannot identify a religion or a community or a neighborhood with terror, but individuals have to be identified, not the entire neighborhood or community. When these counter-protests were on, the police tried to break them. They had divided the two protesters because these protests weren't allowed. If you recall, last week also similar protests were to be organized. That time it was at the central plaza of Brussels at Mows, but that was also not permitted because of the terror threat. In this case, a white Audi came racing down that road to Molenbeek. One of the drivers, the passenger was filming this. It hit a woman and then the driver fled. He's subsequently been arrested, but that is all that is known of this. The background in the checks are still going on.
All right. Gaurav Sawant there reporting on that incident. Many thanks for joining us with those details.